Alright, welcome in everybody. Let's go ahead and continue with some more Genshin, shall we? So, I have already completed most of the summer event. I still need to collect like a few more of these and definitely want to get that up and going, of which most are already done, so yeah, that's pretty good progress, I would say. So, need to fabricate some more figurines. So I can do like over here, I believe. So, let's go ahead and get there. So, I want to just finish up the tiny little bit. And then, yeah. We're gonna go ahead and afterwards just continue with what we were doing. Look at this chest. Just it? Okay, cool. Yoink. Yep. Can I... 3 remain, okay. Do I need to go to a different machine perhaps? Well... Okay, there's also one over there. Let's see if they count separately. I'm gonna assume that they do. Because, yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure, like, she is in my list of characters already. Yep, here. So I would just be getting a constellation. Still good. Okay, so. Oh, unused figures. Okay. That's pointless then. See, can I really not get more figures? I'm assuming there has to be a way to get more. Also, yep, I'm getting a bit distracted, seems. Oh well. What happens, happens. Dun dun. Dun dun dun. Quite the nice music. I'll mess around here for like a tiny bit. And if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. Oh, I can do more here. Yeah. Yep. Creating all the figures. And yeah, I just want to get to like an amount where I can use like the big one. Yep. Just fabricating away. Nice. What do we have here? Oh, letting me know all of the events fine soon. Okay, how nice. See, do we have anything particularly in here? Probably not. Nope. But that's alright, that makes sense. Let's see. Figurine. Forgetting some of these. You don't have that one yet. Eh. Hmm. Let's see. I need to do 60, so we need 5 more and then we have her. And seems like we also got some of these, so...
You better watch out. There's a cat burglar about.
Nice! We got a neat little outfit. But I don't use her in my teams currently. But I still like that I got the outfit. So... Oh yeah, and we also have this one to do. We have plenty of stuff to do, basically. You know what? That looks cool. And I also want to change like the name part. That looks like cool. Hmm. Uh, I know this is not the combination they were probably thinking of, but I think
I wasn't waiting for you.
that just looks good. Yep. So let's go ahead and get there and do that. I thought that was already done. Oops. Oh well. Phase 1, phase 2. Probably want to get this level. Not a tricky part. Definitely like this. Go like this. Let's go there. Feel like this team needs PS more. The Traveler's pretty leveled up. I'm just going back. Like, to be clear, my Nouvelette isn't fully built yet, but he's solid. Like, he can pull in a nice amount of damage. And I'll take casual. Let's see how this goes. Fill in the bar, a time for valor, granting significant combat buffs to the team, which the state will end after a time. Okay. So, try to get valor, basically. And, yep. Well, not the best ability. It works very well for tiny enemies. Nice. Yep. Love to see that. Yep. That bottleneck was just because of the cooldown. Yep. Hey, too bad. Dun. Neat. Alright.
Prepare to be blown away.
Mm-hmm.
Oz reveal. Can't handle your drink.
Nice. Then... Yep. Also, I totally didn't look at like what we need to score. So, depending on how much we need, this is either a terrible score or a good one. I don't know what it is. So, yep. Mm-hmm.
Why do they never miss? I'm going in.
Let the mighty be humble.
Yep.
Settle down.
Yep. He shoots out a pretty powerful beam. And this is him not even having the right artifacts yet.
Be sanctified.
Which is actually pretty insane.
Settle down.
Like, he's not even in Valor currently. And that's against the element of defense.
Punishment.
Let the mighty be humble.
Yep. Let the mighty be humble. Just casually, like, shredding. Like, I would call that shredding. And that's without him being fully upgraded.
Be sanctified.
Like, to say that he's an insane damage dealer is an understatement almost. Also, yep. He passes his beam straight to enemies, so he can even do crowd control. Mm-hmm.
Adventure.
Let the mighty be humble.
I'm going in. Lights out. Clouds.
Yeah, might as well use him as well. Okay. Silver. Hmm. You know what? That's plenty good enough, because that means we will be able to get a free constellation. Nope. The one in the bottom over there. And then we're gonna jump straight into the archon quest. Which, with any luck, we will be able to use it before 5.0. Which is going to be next week. So, that will be interesting. I'm curious what they will do with the new region. Yep, time to use fabrication tokens. Yeah, no remaining. That's honestly fine, because it means... Yoink! Yep. And also some of these, so... That's also pretty nice. Hmm. Yep, let's go ahead and teleport to Mondstadt. We will go ahead and take care of the Adventure Guild things. And then we will be on our way. Yeah, I've been having a little bit of a break, so
Add Astra.
there's no way I'll complete
Thank
the
you
whole
for
pass, basically. But I can at least
Add
get
Astra.
some goodies. That was the wrong button.
Add Astra.
Claim all, please. Dispatch again. Such a quality of life feature. God, I used to just do that manually, and now it's like, hey, you can just press a button. Some sort of letter mechanic, I don't really care about it. Neat. That one I don't care much about. Let's go ahead and probably see one. Yep. One extra when to use a secret surprise, a maximum of 4 can be created this way. Doesn't sound bad, honestly. Right, I still have another one. Oh, right. Outfit.
You
Yep,
better watch out.
I'll take that. How long have I had this open? Sure. She's not on the current banner, so no idea. Also, yeah, I won't be wishing currently. I'm gonna wait for new banners. The characters currently aren't that enticing to me. But anyway, let's go ahead and start some quests. I actually don't have any art. Oops, let me update my title. Oops. I thought I still had one archon quest. No you don't. We have quest with M apparently. Which is all the way down in Sumeru. Alright. And I mean all the way down at the map. It will also be something interesting, like will they put, where will they put the new region? Because from what I've seen so far, it's usually adjacent to the last region, but they could make an exception, like they did with well, technically it's connected, but I'm gonna count Imazuma because of the whole huge ocean between them. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk to him.
I thought I told him to spray it with water to retain moisture before applying the film.
He didn't listen apparently.
You can't treat a glaze lily like a cactus. If Sanjay does this again, the loss will have to come out of his food expenses.
That's not very
I'll
smart.
go talk to him. At this rate, he won't even be able to afford eating cacti for much longer.
Jeez. That's grim.
Oh, it's you two. It's been a while. What brings you to Port Ormos?
We didn't have anything to do, and this place looked pretty lively, so we decided to stop by. But, what's with all the flowers around here?
Well, Port Ormos is currently organizing a flower exhibition featuring flowers and plants from all over Teyvat. So I
Alright.
The exhibition includes flowers from every corner of the world, each with their own unique properties and needs. With that in mind, the curator commissioned a flower pot from Kasharawar capable of retaining heat and moisture. Even so, an expert is still required to develop tailored transportation and care plans for each type of flower.
Oh, and that expert is you, right?
Not this time, no. I'm just here to help out. The expert in charge is someone else.
Mr. Tainari! Sanjay! He confused the poisonous bulbs with garlic shoots, and
Uh,
he ate them.
oh jeez.
Never mind. Forget about what I said about the food expenses. Apologies, Traveler, Paimon. Looks like I've got something to take care of. I'll be back in just a moment.
Yep.
Tighnari's busy no matter where he is, huh?
Seems like it.
Yeah, seems
Mm-hmm.
like it. Some people just need supervision.
Yep.
Looks like Tighnari might be busy for a while. Let's take a look around the port in the meantime.
Alright. Floral Depth Blood Dew. Okay, that's a dramatic title. Sure, walk here.
Wow, look at these flowers! They smell so...
Allergic much? Paimon?
Huh?
Jeez. Hmm.
Fine. She's just got a little...
That doesn't sound good. Rather not the best,
Rainbow
at the very
roses,
least.
glaze lilies, and Cecilia's? No wonder.
Alright.
It's getting worse. Why?
Mm-hmm.
But I was fine just a
Mm.
moment ago. She didn't even eat anything weird.
A moment of your time, you two? If it's not too much trouble, perhaps you could try this incense.
Okay, I'm guessing. Alright.
Incense? Oh, the scent is so nice. Wait!
Could talk normally.
That was fast. Paimon doesn't have to sneeze anymore.
Think nothing
Mhm.
of it. From your attire, I imagine you two aren't from Sumeru either. Seeing as
Nope,
we're both
not the case
travelers
at all.
from abroad, it's only right that we help each other out should the occasion arise.
Makes sense to
So
me.
you're going to the flower exhibition too?
I suppose that's accurate. Ah, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Emily, a perfumer from Fontaine.
Paimon is Paimon. Thank you so much for your help just now. Oh, and this is...
The Traveler, right? I've heard a lot about you from the Steambird. It's nice to finally put a face to the name.
Alright.
What happened back there? Why did Paimon start sneezing all of a sudden?
That's a good question.
Have you ever heard of hay fever?
Okay, that's kind of hilarious. So Paimon now canonically has hay fever.
To put it simply, when inhaled, certain pollens can trigger abnormal physical reactions.
Alright.
Paimon has seen these kinds of flowers before and nothing weird happened then.
Well, we're all different. The factors that can trigger a reaction to certain stimuli vary by person. In isolation, the effects of certain pollens may seem minimal, but inhaling various types at once can trigger a more overt reaction. But there's no need to worry. Pollen allergies can be effectively mitigated with the use of medication.
Alright.
Oh, well, that's good.
Traveler, Paimon,
Hmm.
there you are. Is everything all right? I left in such a hurry, I forgot to warn you about all the pollen in the air.
Yeah, Paimon was not having a good.
Emily? Ah, what a coincidence. Looks like my worry was misplaced then. The Traveler and Paimon are in good hands.
It was nothing, really. We happened to run into each other shortly after my arrival, and I offered them a bit of help, that's all. I'm more
Fair
curious
enough.
as to why you thought the Traveler and Paimon were in danger. Allergies are highly unpredictable. If you were concerned the pollen might trigger a reaction, that must mean something similar has happened in the past.
Something like that.
Remember the first time we met? You fainted after inhaling Spirit Borneal.
Borneo didn't affect Paimon at all, and now she's the one suffering. It makes no sense.
It's not really something you can make sense out of, Paimon. There are all kinds of allergies out there, caused by a variety of different factors. Some people are even allergic to almonds. It's not something you can generalize.
Makes sense.
Exactly. I even encountered a case in Fontaine where someone had an allergic reaction to soba noodles their family brought back from Inazuma.
Oh, good thing Paimon isn't allergic to anything delicious.
In a manner of speaking, although you could say the patients I deal with are rather unusual.
Oh?
In addition to medicine, Emily is also very knowledgeable about botany. She's taught me a lot about the native flora around Fontaine.
Alright. That's
And
something,
that's
I
where my
suppose.
expertise ends, I'm afraid. When it comes to breath of
Alright.
knowledge, Tainari certainly comes out on top.
Alright.
A flower expert? Oh, Paimon's got it! You must be the expert Tainari mentioned, the one in charge of the exhibition!
Wrong again, I'm afraid.
Well, I did come for the exhibition, but only to inquire about the Auguste variety. I'm not involved in any official capacity.
Okay.
Oh, Paimon was sure she got it right this time.
It's a kind of flower that was once popular in Fontaine. The perfume made from it also bears the same name, Auguste.
Alright.
Auguste, huh? That's not a name you hear often nowadays.
Apparently
In ancient
not.
language, the word is said to mean sacred or noble. It's sometimes used as a name for people as well. That reminds me. Are you familiar with a historical event in Fontaine known as Perfume Mania?
Nope. Is it gonna be based off of the real historical event Tulip Mania?
Perfume Mania was an event that occurred in Fontaine nearly 20 years ago.
It's not that long ago, but okay.
It all started when several merchants released their own lines of high-end, expensive perfumes, marketing them as must-have luxury products, the very symbol of elegance itself. No one anticipated the absolute frenzy this would create on the market, causing the price of perfumes to skyrocket. The demand was twofold. What some saw as a status symbol, most saw as a money-making opportunity. You could take advantage of the soaring price by hoarding them. The value of these products became so inflated, regular bottles of perfume were even going for hundreds of thousands of mora. This resulted
So
in countless
based on
disputes and
Tulip.
scams. But at the end of the
Alright.
day, perfume is just perfume. The market value greatly exceeded the intrinsic worth of the product, creating an economic bubble that was never going to last.
Makes
Luckily,
sense to me.
the Palais Mermonia recognized the danger and intervened before the craze could truly spread. Many profiteers and scammers were thrown in jail as a result. In the end, only a few wealthy families were affected when the bubble popped.
What does all this have to do with that Auguste you mentioned earlier?
Well, during the craze, the most popular perfume was none other than Auguste. The demand far exceeded the supply, to the point where it once sold for 10 million mora a bottle.
I don't think it's for.
Then what about now?
To be fair, at the rate you can make money in this game at time. Not even that outrageous.
After the mania ended, most perfumes returned to a normal price. Auguste was the only exception. Its namesake, the flower used to create it, went extinct. As a result, no new bottles of Auguste have been made, and the value of the perfume remains exceedingly high. Indeed, the Auguste flower was not a natural variety, you see. It was specially cultivated for use in perfume making. When the bubble popped, all the flower beds used for its cultivation were destroyed in a fire. The variety has never been seen since.
Didn't you say you came to the exhibition to look for it?
Ah, yes. I came to investigate a certain rumor that the Auguste flower has reappeared in Sumeru. It's causing quite the stir in the Fontaine perfume market.
Alright.
We should help Emily look for it.
That's wild.
I have to agree. Emily wrote me to ask if I could look into the rumor. But the forest rangers haven't received any reports of new plant species recently.
Even if I can
Alright.
locate the flower, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed, Paimon. I don't have any grand mora making endeavors planned. Divine, noble, one of a kind, all beautiful sentiments to be sure, but to me, they overshadow the very essence of the product. When it comes to
Alright.
perfume, I want people to forget the price and the prestige and focus on the beauty of the fragrance itself.
Wow,
Sure.
so noble.
Of course, there's also a more practical reason. In recent years, low-grade counterfeit versions of Auguste have been popping up on the Fontaine perfume market. Every so often, someone will claim to have recreated the unique scent of Auguste, and the rumor mill will start comparing the counterfeits to my own work.
Jeez.
Okay, that's more like the reason Paimon had in mind.
Ever since that rumor started, 3 new perfumes claiming to be made from the Auguste flower have appeared on the market. If I can dispel the fanaticism surrounding Auguste, even just by proving the rumor to be false, Fontaine's perfume market can finally start to get back to normal. Then I'll be free from all the stories and added meaning and just focus on making what I like.
That makes sense.
That sounds fair enough.
Oh, I would of course be grateful for your help, but I wouldn't want to trouble you.
Alright.
Well, you said it yourself. We're both travelers from abroad, so it's only right that we help each other out.
I suppose you're right. Then you have my thanks.
Based on the information I have so far, it's unclear if the rumor is true. Mr. Edgar also thinks it's too early to say.
Alright.
But you could always go talk to him. He was there all those years ago, after all. Maybe he'll know something.
I was just about to pay him a visit.
Edgar?
The person you've been trying to guess this whole time.
The
flower expert in charge of the exhibition.
Alright.
He's also the most respected and experienced perfumer in the area. Back when he was still working in Fontaine, Auguste was his creation.
I should also mention, he was my teacher, the one who taught me the basics of perfumery when I apprenticed in Sumeru.
Okay.
So this guy was a famous perfumer in Fontaine?
Apparently.
It's a long story. If you're interested, we can talk more about it when we see him. He should be staying near the hotel.
Alright, well, let's go to the hotel then. Is that then up top there? Yep, we're doing the teleport for a really short distance so that I don't have to climb.
Oh, look at all the flowers!
Yep.
Apparently, the exhibitor paid a large sum to rent out the hotel and surrounding buildings. They're being used as temporary storage facilities and lodging for exhibition personnel.
Yeah, seems excessive.
Come early. They won't have anywhere to stay. Also, renting out this big of a hotel, how are they gonna make that more back?
They might have some
It's been
people
so
providing
long,
cash.
I almost didn't recognize you, Edgar.
Well, you and your brother haven't changed a bit.
Oh, yeah, look, all this catching up is nice and all, but let's get down to business. We need to talk about Kyria. Is he?
Hold on, we have guests.
It's nice to see you again, Master.
Emily? Is that you? Oh, it's been years. Look at you. You're all grown up. I've heard you've become quite the famous perfumer in Fontaine. It would seem the student has surpassed the master.
Alright, that's
wow.
fair.
It's all thanks to your mentorship.
Hardly. I taught you the basics. Hearing you call me master, well, I'm not sure I'm deserving of that title. I've taught many students here in Sumeru over the years, but I've yet to see one turn out quite as accomplished as you. You're the only one who can take credit for that success.
Alright.
Who are these two? I don't recall you mentioning them in your letter.
They're my new friends, the Traveler and Paimon.
Emily's friends. Well then, the pleasure is all mine.
And
Alright.
these two gentlemen, are they friends of yours, Master?
Of course, we're perfume merchants from Fontaine.
I doubt that, but alright.
Dude, and this here is my younger brother, Blaze. Edgar and the two of us are old friends. Isn't that right, gentlemen?
Right.
Yes.
I somehow
Brothers?
I somehow doubt
We're
that.
here to look for the Auguste flower then.
apparently.
Huh?
Well, what respectable perfume merchant hasn't heard of a Ghost? Anyone in the business would be interested in the rumors.
I'm guessing you're here for the same reason, Emily. We were just about to get into it, so you three might as well join in. I
Alright.
commissioned a few Eremites to do some scouting for me. They searched all over Sumeru, but there were no sightings of the August flower. That being said, there are people in Port Ormos who claim to have smelled a unique fragrance on the streets. Definitely floral, but still distinct. Some of them
Okay.
were merchants who lived in Fontaine 20 years ago. According to them, the fragrance smelled exactly like the August they remember from back then.
Okay. That's
A
what?
one-of-a-kind, divine, and noble scent.
Maybe someone around here just happens to have a bottle of August from back then.
That's possible.
No, I don't think so. I doubt that's the case. Even if someone had a bottle that was never opened, the fragrance of the perfume would have changed over time. Very few perfumes can go decades without a change in scent. Auguste is even more prone to that kind of shift. Only a few bottles still exist in Fontaine, and their scent would have completely degraded by now.
Okay.
Although, could there be a flower out there with a similar fragrance? Or in accord with the same base notes?
Impossible. If a goose were that easy to replicate, it would never have sold for such a high price all those years ago. The Auguste flower is back. It has to be.
Technically
Right.
speaking, the scent wouldn't be impossible to imitate.
Well, let's table that question for now. Edgar, did any of those people mention where the scent was coming from?
No. By the time they realized they had smelled something, the scent was already gone. If I hadn't asked about it, they probably wouldn't have given the experience a second thought.
Okay.
Compared to things we see and hear, smells can be much easier to overlook.
It almost sounds like someone wearing the Auguste fragrance passed them on the street.
Wait, are you saying...
Just thinking out loud. Don't pay me any mind.
Just don't pay me any
We don't have
mind.
much to go off of right now, but we can't rule out that possibility. I'll send some more people to investigate. You all traveled so far to be here. Why don't you rest in the hotel for a bit? Oud, Blaze, this is the key to your room.
Okay.
Ooh, you've got the keys to the rooms? Do we get free lodging too?
My apologies. All the rooms in the hotel are accounted for, I'm afraid. Most are being used for storage ahead of the exhibition, you
How
see.
much storage do you need?
I managed to tidy up one of the rooms for these two at the last minute. But by the time Emily wrote to me, there was no more space left for her to stay.
Okay.
And we just showed up out of the blue. Guess that means there's definitely no space for us.
Yep.
I should have been more considerate. Here I am with an entire hotel at my disposal and no place to offer you to stay, even after you made the trip all the way to Sumeru.
And we've
Don't
been here
worry,
before.
Master. I can sleep on the boat tonight, or I could even camp in the wild. It would give me the opportunity to collect some plant specimens while I'm here in Sumeru. Even better. Although, would it be possible for me to leave some of my luggage here? It would be rather cumbersome to take it camping. It shouldn't take up too much space.
Well, about that.
Of course, no trouble at all. My brother and I will keep an eye on them for you, as long as you don't mind, mademoiselle.
All right then. Oud, why don't you take Emily inside and I'll prepare some refreshments and join...
Alright. There's definitely something suspicious going on here. I don't know what, but something smells. It's not the perfume. Mm-hmm. Is that not the entrance to the hotel? Oh. I need to specifically go through that door. Okay.
Whoa, the smell of flowers is so
Mm-hmm.
strong. Paimon took a peek through the window earlier and his house was packed with flowers. Looks like this exhibition is gonna be huge.
No, that's a florist thing. We work
Hmm.
closely with the essential oils of various plants. But to maintain a sharp sense of smell, most perfumers prefer to keep their homes free of strong odors.
Okay.
Oh, guess there's just too much to store for the exhibition then.
Oh, this room seems to be a connected suite, and my brother will be staying on. Blaze, while you're out, why don't you bring our luggage over as well?
Hmm.
Ahem.
Yes.
All right then. Where can we find your
Hmm.
luggage, madam?
It's still at the port. In addition to some daily necessities, there's also a case of amber wine that I brought back from Fontaine. Could I trouble you to bring that back as well? It would be the...
How?
Is that so?
Hmm.
Mr. Ood, Mr. Blaze.
Hey, what are you doing?
Huh? Hmm?
That's Master's voice.
Alright, what in the world is going on? I already thought something smelled, and not the flowers.
Edgar!
Master!
Hmm.
Hey, Edgar!
Kid,
Hmm.
Hey, Edgar? Edgar!
Hmm.
No, don't shake him. He's injured. Just leave him to me. You two can... Oh, thank you.
Alright. Hmm.
That strange smell around here. Is it coming from this bottle?
I don't think Augustus is what.
Oh, really? You think?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you think whoever did this was hiding?
Hmm. Alright, so not in there. Hmm.
I checked. Oh, but that's impossible. It's not like that kid can just grow some. Oh, the culprit, I mean. It's not like the culprit could have just disappeared into thin air.
Okay.
Well, we looked all over.
Mm-hmm.
The most important thing we can do now is focus our efforts on treating Master.
Alright. What are you guys hiding? Because this is all around.
So, how's he doing?
When I administered emergency treatment, I discovered a residue in his nose and mouth. He's still unconscious, and inducing vomiting could obstruct his airways. We'll have to look into other... Ah, yes. The scent is the same, but the chemical composition is still unclear. We'll have to do... But first, I do believe there... Mr. Sylvain? Mr.
Yep.
Lucian?
Wait, you know...
Hey, were you talking to us, mademoiselle?
Before arriving in Sumeru, I asked a friend from the Special Patrol to look into the creators of Auguste. There were 4 people in total. The perfumer, Edgar, the one thrust into the limelight, and 3 others.
I
A researcher from
see.
Sumeru responsible for cultivating the Auguste flower, and 2 merchant brothers responsible for promoting the product on the market.
Okay.
The 2 brothers capitalized on the mythos surrounding Auguste. Their actions lured in numerous speculators, and in the end, they were sent to the fortress of Meripede for falsifying the accounts and destabilizing the market. If you do the math, they should be out of prison by now.
And what does that have to do with us? There are countless merchant families in
Every time your brother called you Blaze, it took you several seconds to respond. But when I called you Lucian just now, the name registered immediately.
Ah, Miss Emily, out of respect for your position as a famous perfumer in Fontaine, I'm inclined to believe that was simply a poor attempt at humor. You have a bright future ahead of you. You wouldn't want to develop a reputation as someone who throws around false accusations, especially among merchant circles.
You claim to be regular perfume merchants, and yet, when I brought up amber wine, you took it to be alcohol.
What?
Amber wine is a perfume I created several years ago. It wasn't particularly renowned, but I'm certain any respectable perfume merchant in Fontaine would know of it. Unless, until recently, they were living somewhere completely cut off from the perfume world. Somewhere like...
Emily, you little.
Don't even think about it.
Don't misunderstand, Mr. Sylvain. I don't bring this up to criticize you. No matter what happened all those years ago, the court has already passed its judgment. But Master's life is in danger. We need to learn what... If Master's attack had something to do with Auguste, I would imagine the two of you might also be in danger. So I'd like to trouble you for some information, if I may. Tell me about Kyria.
Fine. As you wish.
Sylvain,
Lucian, if this will help us find Kyria, then it will be all worth it. Besides, we've already told most of the stuff to the Maison Orderly anyway. You're right, Miss Emily. There were 4 of us at the beginning. Myself, Lucian, Edgar. Sometime down the road, the Marechaussee Phantom came knocking, saddled us with a list of accusations, and started looking into our books. Oh, they did their meddling, and my brother Edgar and I were forced to serve time in the fortress as a result.
Sounds like he's still upset about that.
Yep.
Wait, then how did Edgar end up...
Master was convicted as an accomplice, so he only had to serve a few years. He decided to move to Sumeru so that he could put those events behind him.
Makes sense to me.
Master was depressed for a long time after that. He stopped. That's how I met him. My parents had to relocate to Sumeru for work when I was a child, so I had the chance to study under him for a little while.
Okay.
But we can talk about that some other time. I want to hear more about this researcher, Vijava.
Like us, Vijava was also staring down, but before the Phantom showed up at her door, she set all the flower beds on fire, along with much of the mora we managed to earn. All the Auguste flowers, everything we worked to create, was reduced to nothing but a pile of ash.
Okay.
Destroying all that evidence. Wouldn't that make things worse for her?
It didn't matter at that point, because she died in the fire as well.
What?
sounds like you did an investigation of your own. Why even ask us if you knew all of this already?
The name wasn't mentioned in any of the files I reviewed either, but you two seem quite familiar with him.
Yep. All right.
Was Vijava's younger brother. He was just a clueless kid back then. Somewhere in his teens, I think. He helped his sister with her work sometimes, but Vijava kept him close most of the time.
Okay.
The 3 of us were probably the only ones who even knew she had a brother. After our operation was compromised, he disappeared.
So, you think Kyria took something with him back then? Something that allowed him to reproduce the Auguste flower?
That sounds like it.
Java doted on the kid like you wouldn't believe. She even told us to give her cut to her brother if anything happened to her. If she left something behind before she died, believe me, Kyria's the one that has it.
And judging by the liquid in that bottle, the Auguste flower wasn't the only thing he reproduced. He managed to replicate...
So the liquid Edgar was forced to ingest really was
Poison? No. Of course not. No perfume is meant to be ingested. Even small amounts can be... If Auguste could be considered a poison, we wouldn't have even sold half a bottle back then. Edgar fell unconscious because Kyria forced him to drink perfume. He probably thought we had something to do with his sister's death. We're not looking for Kyria because we have it out for him. We just wanted to see how he was doing. We only went to prison for a bit of fraud and market manipulation. It had nothing to do with the product itself.
Right.
As long as we keep things honest this time around, bringing the product back to market would almost be...
So that's why you never mentioned Kyria during your interrogation?
Yes, exactly. We were just looking out for the kid.
Anyway, that's all we know.
Well, at least we're able to say for certain that the substance Edgar ingested was in fact a goose. That gives us a direction for further testing.
Well, glad to hear it. Lucian, let's head back to the room and rest a bit. With everything that's happened.
Yes, of course.
Right. And I'm suspicious of you.
Huh.
Yep.
You think so too? But based on Sylvain's tone of voice just now,
The way you exposed them like that, just based on a hunch? That was all right. Earlier you said you were only sort of a doctor.
oh yes, that's because most of the patients I encounter are already dead.
Okay.
You're a forensic doctor?
Yes, I'm actually a forensic cleaner. Once the forensic
Okay.
team and the Marachese Phantom are done collecting evidence from the scene, I'm in charge of clearing away the final trace. In fact, with just a small alteration to the formula, the same tincture. Basically, there are two sides to forensics. Those who collect evidence to expose the truth, and those who clean up the smells, bloodstains, and other substances left behind at the scene. I've learned a lot in my line of work, and I've witnessed a lot of death. But this time, we may still save the patient. Actually, Traveler, could I trouble you to report back to Tainari and the officers at Port Ormos? I'll stay here and continue to look after Master. Now that we
Yep. Let's go ahead and bother him for a bit. One advantage. This time we can just glide to our destination, and probably we don't need to get that close usually.
Whoa, why the rush? Did something happen?
Yep. And to just explain everything.
What? Edgar was attacked? He's the most famous perfumer in the region. Someone who's helped countless people around Port Ormos.
Sheriff, have you received any reports of a suspicious individual fleeing through the bazaar?
No, but we've got eyes all over the area. I'm sure someone's seen Kyria. I'll start gathering my forces. We won't let him get away.
What about you, Tainari? Do you have a plan?
I'm sure the sheriff can handle things over at the scene, and I doubt Emily needs my help looking after Mr. Edgar.
But she said she's not a real doctor.
Still.
Then she was far too modest. She may not be a doctor by trade, but she has a deeper understanding of human anatomy and pharmacology than most scholars from the Amorta Darshan. Not to mention the fact that Mr. Edgar's condition is related to perfume. Emily is certainly in the best position to help him. As for me, I'll head to the academia and see what I can learn about Vijava and Kyria.
That makes sense to me.
Oh, that's right. Vijava was supposed to...
From Emily's letter, certainly, but that was the first time I'd heard of it. The academia produces a lot of scholars, and there are plenty of graduates who choose to pursue a career outside their darshan. I didn't have time to look into it earlier, but now it seems like Vijava's past could be critical to getting to the bottom of what happened to Mr. Edgar. I have friends in Sumeru City that can help me investigate. With any luck, we'll have news to share by tomorrow. I'll leave you and Emily to watch over things.
Yep. Wait until next day. About 7.
Well, it's been a day. Wonder if Tainari's discovered discovered anything. But things weren't looking good with Emily's master yesterday. We should check on things at the hotel first.
Let's see. Let's this time try to take the conventional way. Dun, dun, dun. Moving up, moving up, moving up, moving up. Dun 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 dun. I would say teleporting is still faster, but it's just fair, I suppose.
No longer in critical condition, thankfully. He's still very weak, but with a bit more rest, he should regain consciousness soon.
That's
My
good
chemical
at
analysis
the very
of
least.
also went smoothly, although it certainly raised some questions.
Questions?
I was able to identify the components that give this substance its fragrance, but I also noticed an abnormal trace of elemental energy in the sample.
Elemental energy?
Hard to say. It was such a minute amount, proportionally speaking, like mixing a single drop of perfume into the ocean. I had to use one of the newest tests developed in recent years to even detect the traces present in the sample. Unless you were abnormally sensitive to elemental energy, I doubt it would have any effect, even if you use the product every day for 10 years.
Okay,
As for whether Master's
so
condition was caused by the elemental
very
energy
minor
present in the
amount.
sample or some other component of the perfume, it's...
Oh, that reminds Paimon. Did Tainari come and find you? Maybe we could ask him to take a look.
I received a message from him last night, but I haven't heard anything since. The message said he was looking into some information at the academia.
Yep, that
I might have
matches.
stopped by to see you first.
Apparently not.
Excuse me? Is Miss Emily here? Oh, perfect! Familiar faces! Traveler, Paimon, you're here too!
Yep.
Kale. Ah, of course. Tainari's apprentice. He's mentioned you many times. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. And please, no need for formality.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you too, Miss, Emily.
Alright.
Tainari sent you here, Kale?
Probably did.
Yep. Master and the others went through decades worth of records last night, and still haven't had a chance to rest. I'm fast on my feet, so it only made sense for me to come and give you an update. Anyway, based on what they've reviewed so far, they believe there's no indication that a researcher by the name of Vijava ever passed through the academia. Master considered that possibility as well, but the name wasn't the only dead end. Master tried to track down people with a similar research direction or background, but also couldn't find a match.
Interesting.
How is that possible?
It's starting to seem very likely. If we want to figure out her true identity, I'm afraid another conversation with those two merchants might be our only...
Oh, great.
Lucian!
It's Sylvain! Wait, you don't think Curio came back, do you?
That seems impossible. If someone came in or out of the hotel just now...
Yep. Let's go ahead and check it. The door won't. Yep. Sorry for the door.
No one here.
Lucian!
Okay.
Lucian! Lucian! Come on! Emily! Emily! My brother.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sylvain.
No, that's not possible.
Traveler, Kale, Mr. Sylvain has gone. He needs some space to calm down. Could one of you take him next door? It's not good for him to look at his brother's body like that.
Of course. Leave it to me.
Thank you both.
Alright, this is quite a mess.
Mr. Sylvain, we'll take things from here. Just focus on getting some rest. Here, this way.
Hmm. Hmm. So what's going on here? Hmm?
Poor guy. He's like a shell of his former self.
Hmm.
He may have made some bad decisions in life.
Good person or bad, the death of a loved one is equally painful.
Makes sense to me.
All the moments he shared with his brother, every hardship and triumph they endured together, are now memories he has to carry alone.
Hmm.
If Kyria really was behind this, then what exactly did he do to Lucian?
Lucian can no longer speak, but the traces left behind by his death most certainly can. Traveler, I've got things covered here at the scene.
Alright. Let's go ahead and get to the sheriff then.
Who would have thought? Yesterday's case is still up in the air, and now this happens.
Yep.
Emily, I heard you're an experienced forensic doctor.
Oh, I'm not actually a forensic doctor. I did take a look, though. Judging by the temperature and rigidity of the body.
Then, would you mind helping us investigate? Before he left, Tainari said we could trust your judgment if something like this were to happen.
Okay.
Of course, I appreciate your trust. Many of the traces left behind at the scene will fade with time.
We'll help too. We don't know much about dead bodies.
The on Faven's instance.
And the windows are shut tight too.
Pupils are dilated, skin is flushed. No overt.
Well, looks like we've...
Interesting. Very interesting.
So, did you find anything?
Paimon can show you. Here, it'd be something like this.
But entering through the room next door without alerting Sylvain... Wait, you don't think Sylvain could have been the one who...
No, his reaction to the loss of his brother seemed genuine. And he doesn't have a...
Then, what could have happened last night?
I agree. Also, I've made some new discoveries, so we might as well head next door and go through everything together.
That sounds fair enough. Time to enter his room. So far, quite the murder mystery.
Mr. Sylvain,
Seems.
I need you to tell me everything you and your brother did since...
After Kyria attacked Edgar, we returned to our rooms and decided to lock all the doors leading to the hallway. The only door we kept unlocked was the one connecting our rooms. But I didn't hear any sort of commotion last night. Not a single noise. I woke up.
So, no movement from the room next door. No forced entry via Sylvain's room. No signs of a struggle at the scene. And no
I did notice a few things about the body. Lucian's pupils were dilated, and there weren't any traces of liquid in his mouth or nose, so it's unlikely he was forced to ingest anything. The more plausible explanation is that he inhaled
a goose? No, that's not possible. Inhaling a goose won't kill you. And anyway, it would have been for just one night.
Just one night?
No, that's not what I meant.
No.
Emily, you ran your test.
No, I didn't find any common toxins.
See? A ghost is harmless.
That may be true for most people, but not for everyone.
Oh?
Master!
Mm-hmm.
Edgar? You're.
Thanks to Emily, Sylvain, no matter how hard you may try to hide it,
Oh?
the truth will always come. Edgar! Even if we could keep it a secret for another 10 or 20 years, do you think Kyria would just let us be? No.
Mm.
He would never give up. Not if he's doing all of this.
Alright.
That's Vijava's real name.
Hmm.
Yelena wasn't a scholar from Sumeru. She was an exiled Fatus from Snezhnaya.
Ah.
The Fatui. Well, that means the elemental energy present in Auguste was.
Hmm.
So you've already detected it. Well, Sylvain, looks like there's truly no reason.
Oh.
The Auguste flower was created with the mutative and distorting power of a delusion.
Okay.
A delusion?
The Fatui, delusions. I never would have thought Auguste was hiding this many secrets.
Clearly it does.
Born of a delusion, Auguste contained distorted elemental energy. A prolonged exposure over many years could have a harmful effect on the body.
That's enough, Edgar. At first, Yelena wanted to keep refining the perfume and the flower. But no one knew how long the perfume mania was going to last back then. It didn't have any effect on ordinary people anyway. Every day we postponed going to market was another day.
So you decided poisoning people was.
Listen, it's not like it was good for business. But all that talk about Auguste being harmful over time, Yelena was just speculating. The impact. Unless you were particularly sensitive to elemental energy or had an entire bottle shoved down your throat like Edgar, you could use the product for decades and be completely fine.
It may be true there are no records of Auguste poisoning in Fontaine, but even if no one was acutely poisoned, willfully bringing a product to market despite explicit knowledge of its harmful effects is still a serious crime.
Yep.
That explains why you were so intent on keeping Yelena and Kyria's involvement a secret all this time, despite readily confessing to all your financial crimes. The Fatui, delusions, Auguste. If the Marechaussee Phantom discovered the connection between the three, there would have been enough evidence
Yep,
to send you
for
to the
sure.
Fortress of Meripede for life.
Ha! If I'd known coming to Sumeru would put a target on my back, I would have been more than happy to stay there. At least that. All these years without any sign of Kyria. Auguste was harmless before. The fact that it's killing people all of a sudden.
So there's bad blood between you.
Yep.
What about Yelena's death? Was that a cover-up too? A way to
I'll admit, we thought about it at one point. We took care to disguise the product circulating on the market, and no one was questioned. But if the Marechaussee Phantom decided to look into the flower beds, it would have been the end. Yelena's ties. Before we could even put our plan in motion, Yelena beat us to it.
But if her goal was to destroy evidence, yeah, she could have just burned the flower beds and fled with her brother.
I
Yep.
thought about it for a long time. Everything she did. It was. One of the reasons they defected from the Fatui was the deterioration of Yelena's body due to her excessive use of a delusion. She didn't want her brother to follow in her footsteps after her death. After arriving in Fontaine, Yelena continued using the delusion to cultivate the Auguste flower.
So she couldn't flee with her brother because she was afraid of holding him back.
Sounds like
If her
it.
true identity was exposed, she and her brother would face pressure from both Snezhnaya and Fontaine.
Makes sense
The
to me.
Auguste flower and Yelena's own corroded body both bore the mark of a delusion. There would have been no way to avoid suspicion. So, in the end, she burnt it all to ash, including herself. With all the
Okay.
evidence erased, Kyria was free to take the Mora and run.
So the wealth you earned from Auguste, it wasn't destroyed in the...
Most likely. Before Yelena died, she said if anything happened to her, she was going to leave everything to her brother. We just didn't realize she meant our cut as well. That's why Lucian and I were searching for Kyria, to take back our Mora and the Auguste flower.
Why is Kyria out for revenge?
I don't think he knew Yelena always wore heavy makeup around him to conceal her deteriorating appearance. She kept herself busy with work to keep out of sight. That way her brother wouldn't notice how she could barely walk.
Then all we'll need to do is tell Kyria what really happened, and then he'll give up on his revenge.
I doubt
I'm
it.
not so sure. Even if he knew the truth, he'd still find someone to blame. He might think Yelena was forced into using a delusion to cultivate a ghost.
Yep.
Or something like that.
That makes sense to me.
It's hard to pull yourself out of that kind of hatred. Especially when you've been living in that headspace for so many years.
Very true. Even if Yelena's death was her own choice, I wouldn't call myself innocent either.
Edgar, what are you talking about?
Think about it, Sylvain. If we hadn't been in such a hurry to capitalize on the perfume mania all those years ago, do you think Yelena would have elected to take those risks?
Probably
If we
not.
hadn't been so blinded by greed, so insistent on increasing the scale of the flower cultivation, do you think Yelena's health would have deteriorated as fast as it did?
Probably
if we
not.
hadn't invited the Marechaussee Phantom to our doorstep by breaking the law at every turn, Yelena could have survived.
She knew her limits. She knew her days were numbered. Maybe it was for her brother, but she was in it for the Mora just as much as us. We were just trying to earn a bit of Mora. And what, we deserve to die for that? Target me for being the mastermind, sure. But what about Lucian? He was just following my orders. Lucian's
Still an
crime,
accomplice.
was it really so extreme that he had... Fine. I've said my piece and...
3 people from Fontaine, 1 from Snezhnaya, and a crime committed in Port Ormos. What a headache.
Yep.
Well, we can only wait until the Academia sends someone to deal with it. I'm guessing we'll have to contact Fontaine as well. With the exhibition, we don't even have space in Port Ormos to detain anyone.
The hotel could, although with Sylvain's mental state and my physical one, I don't think you need to worry about a jailbreak.
Mr. Edgar, are you saying...
If Sylvain is to stand trial, then I deserve the same fate. I'd just like to take care of a few things. As for Sylvain, I'm sure... Would you be willing to grant that request?
Well, all right. I'll talk to the Academia.
All right.
Who were in Fontaine or what crime, the man we grew to know in Sumeru proved himself to be a good...
You have my thanks, Sheriff.
Happened tonight? Oh.
Yeah, all we know is that he uses a goose to poison people. But we still have no idea how if he targets Sylvain or...
That may be true. But what if we take advantage of this situation and lure him in on purpose?
All right.
Master, no. That's too...
If Kyria learns we're being taken away tomorrow, in other words...
Capture? Not necessarily.
Afraid? I'm spending the rest of my life in prison anyway.
Jeez.
I can't just sit back and let him ride off into the sunset with our fortune. As for the danger, everyone else just needs to make preparations in advance.
I'll admit, it could work. We just need... Then I'll station some of my men around the hotel. If we have your assistance as well, Our chance of success.
I still have some reservations. But if you insist.
I'll also keep watch.
Sure.
Although I think Sylvain and myself should remain alone in. If Kyria noticed another person in the room, he might decide to turn back. And
You mean if he doesn't see a way to get his hands
If that were to happen, everyone's standing guard.
that's why everyone else needs to keep to the shadows.
You're still recovering. You need to rest.
Yep.
This old bag of bones doesn't bound.
All right, we can figure out a plan to keep watch later. Right now, I say we split up, start spreading that information before it's too late.
All right.
Have you heard? Mr. Edgar's been detained. He's being taken away tomorrow.
What?
Yep.
He's the one who helped craft all the.
He taught my child how to make perfume. How could this happen?
He hasn't been convicted yet. Let's just wait and see what the court has to say.
Oh,
Makes
everyone on
sense.
The street is talking about the rumors. No matter where Kyria is hiding, he must have heard. Let's head back to the hotel and take a break.
Sure. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun dun. Nice sort of relaxing music.
Emily, Sheriff Xian wants to.
Thank you, Kale. But first, here, I prepared a kind of herbal tea that helps calm the spirit. Why don't you have?
Oh, that's very.
Oh, it's not good to be so tense, especially when we've got a long night ahead of us. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I couldn't help but.
Was it that obvious?
Yeah.
You seem very preoccupied with Kyria's revenge. If there's anything you want to talk about.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Emily, Kale. Oh, are we interrupting something?
Mm-hmm.
No, not at all. This will be easier to talk through with you here anyway.
Okay.
I've just been thinking. If Kyria has the capacity to commit murder while remaining completely undetected, there was just a single door separating them. If when I accompanied Sylvain to his room after Lucien died, and saw how distraught, maybe Kyria did that on purpose. Maybe he wanted Sylvain to experience the pain of losing a loved one. So did he attack Edgar as a warning then? To scare Sylvain and Lucien?
Sounds
Based on what
possible.
we've heard about Kyria, that may very well be the case.
Losing his sister all those years ago. What has been going through whenever I get to thinking like that? I just can't help but wonder. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't think like that. Not after everything he's done. But
there's nothing wrong with the way you're feeling. Empathy is a part of human nature. In all my years of cleaning up crime scenes, I've witnessed countless families mourn their loved ones. Their cries of devastation and anger still echo through my mind, even now. Some of them even try to stop me, begging me not to erase the last remnants of their loved ones. But getting swept up in those emotions will corrupt your judgment. Surround yourself with fragrance for too long, and your sense of smell will become dull. Allow yourself to be consumed by your emotions, and you lose the ability to think rationally. So while you hold on to that sense of empathy, you also need to ask yourself, do Sylvain and Lucien really deserve to die? How much did they truly know about the Fatui and the delusion? did they force Yelena to make those decisions?
Hmm.
Answering those questions requires a lot of time and evidence, while a single act of vengeance can put those answers forever out of our reach. I've witnessed a lot of deaths in Fontaine. When someone dies, but generally speaking, death will just leave most questions unanswered, and the whole picture ever incomplete.
Once you're consumed by hatred, it will become next to impossible to think about things that way. For someone like Kyria, I'm sure right and wrong lost all meaning a long time ago.
You're right. The fact that we can approach these questions from this perspective isn't because we're more rational than them. It's because we're fortunate enough not to have suffered that kind of loss. But it also makes us perfectly positioned to stand on the outside and try to pull them back from the brink before it's too late. I understand Kyria's decision, but I still want to stop him. Master, Sylvain, and Kyria. They all deserve to survive.
The fortunate and the unfortunate.
Seems like it.
Emily, Traveler. Huh? Edgar.
Oh, it's you two! Didn't you head back to your room to rest, Edgar? Is it really okay for you to be out and about like this?
A little exercise never hurt anyone. Besides, I don't have much time left in Sumeru, so I'd like to take care of my
We could do that for you, Master.
No need. I've grown attached to these flowers. I would imagine Sheriff Sham...
the Night Watch! You
That's right. I've stationed some of my men around the surrounding area, but we still don't have anyone standing guard next to Sylvain's room. Exactly. After some discussion, we concluded that Sylvain has the highest risk of being attacked next. You're the most skilled fighter here, Traveler. And Emily's expertise is sure to come in handy in a pinch. That's why I want you.
Sounds perfectly reasonable.
Yep. Alright. And that's Edgar's room. We need to be entering the front of the hotel. Or one of the rooms. Attention to it unentered. Because we can just do that.
Not a peep. Has Kyria given up on his revenge? Guess... Still nothing unusual. Paimon took a peek into the room next door and Sylvain's already sleeping.
Perhaps Kyria's true motive was simply forcing Sylvain to confess his crimes.
I doubt it.
That can't be right. If all he wanted was for... There must be something we're missing.
Maybe we just need to calm down a little. How about some tea? That herbal blend from earlier was pretty tasty. You're right. Maybe we can look for a different distraction then. Oh, there's a glaze lily here. Paimon didn't notice it earlier.
Flowers, glaze lily... Oh no! Sylvain's room! Quick!
Oh?
Wait, what?
Hey, did you hear?
It was the older of the merchant brothers.
Yeah, I think his name was Sylvain. Poor guy was murdered in cold blood.
First it was Mr. Edgar, then that merchant.
Listen up, everyone. This is an active crime scene. Please, no loitering.
It's been 3 days and they haven't even caught a glimpse of the guy.
Do you think it could be the work of an... I mean, how do you get away with something like that with so many people watching?
Keep it moving, everyone. No loitering.
Yep. Keep it moving.
I suppose.
You don't know that. Kyria already attacked you once, and you
You were the only reason I managed.
Even if I wasn't there, Tainari was also in the vicinity.
Is that so? I have exceptional students. caring friends and the respect of my peers.
Alright.
If it is, but Kyria has nothing. It really makes you wonder.
If you really want an answer, I suppose you'll have to ask Kyria himself.
Well, Emily, there's something else I'd like to ask of you. But so many flowers were transported here for the show. Whether Kyria gets to me first, or I'm sent back to Fontaine, I know it's a lot to ask. But could...
Of course,
Really, now I truly have nothing to worry about.
Alright.
Sheriff Sham still has some questions for me.
Go ahead. Best not to keep him waiting. He can be quite impatient.
That sounds fair enough, to be honest.
I'm sorry, Master.
Another all-nighter. I'm unsure. Emily still isn't back. I hope she didn't run into any trouble. Yeah.
Traveler, I had my men start spreading the information you requested. The crowd is gone now too, but after listening to Emily's plan, I started getting the materials together and arranging personnel. To be honest, I'm still not sure how the crime was committed.
The key clue was right in front of us the entire time. Let's go. I'll show you where the culprit hid.
Oh, he did it in a flower, I assume?
This is it.
The glazed lily, huh? I think I've heard of it before. It's a
Well, did you know it only blooms at night?
Emily, you're back.
Exactly as
a flower that only blooms at night.
Exactly. Although the Neelop-Pala lotus wouldn't be a good substitute in this scenario. When it's closed, the gaps between the petals are too large. That's why Kyria chose the glaze lily as his mechanism. He would...
If poured into the flower pot, the liquid would seep into the soil. If applied to the outside, you would still be able to smell a ghost. There's a sticky substance on the edge of the flower petal. If you stick the petals to...
That's right! He applied a diluted form of slime condensate to the petals to stick them together and enclose. That way, the agouste would remain trapped inside during the daytime, unable to seep between the petals and evaporate into the air. This also, however, the diluted slime condensate wouldn't be viscous enough to prevent the petals of the glaze lily from opening at night. So by nightfall, the flower would bloom, thereby forcing the target to inhale the agouste trapped inside.
And Kyria could execute his revenge without having to...
By the next morning, the sample of agouste would have nearly fully evaporated. The glaze lily would have already closed its petals, and any lingering odor would be concealed by the fragrance of the...
Wait a second. You're telling me this version of agouste is so toxic? And how did Edgar even survive ingesting a...
That's because agouste is just as dangerous now as it was all those years ago. The level of toxicity has never changed. Only a small subset of people are truly at risk.
I see.
You mean people who are sensitive to elemental energy? That can't be right. They were involved in the operation all those years ago.
I wouldn't use the word allergic necessarily. It's more like they're... You can think of it this way. It's not that Sylvain and Lucien are innately sensitive to elemental energy, but that
The incense I smelled earlier seemed familiar. In Sumeru,
alchemically produced essential oils, the primordial seawater that caused unrest in Fontaine not too long ago. All of those are substances that can heighten.
That stuff gave us a lot of trouble when we first came to Sumeru. Yes. I definitely remember that.
In
Mm-hmm.
Sumeru, it's not
Yep.
uncommon to use incense indoors, so its presence wouldn't arouse suspicion. The
flowers are pretty important to this plan, huh? The glazed lily is native to Liwa. It would be completely unnatural to have one here in Sumeru if it weren't for the...
Actually, it's not a coincidence at all.
No wonder he was willing to pay a small fortune to rent out the hotel. He probably used the mora Yelena left him, don't you think? But in the end, it was just a...
There's a saying among forensic doctors in Fontaine.
Hmm.
Every step you take leaves a mark. But up until this
Makes
point,
sense.
we haven't been able to detect any trace of Kiria's activities. That's but because he's been disguised as someone...
Hmm.
Creating such an intricate mechanism out of a glade, it all points to one
Hmm. I'm gonna say
That
Edgar.
doesn't sound right. The mora spent to rent out the hotel,
Hmm.
it all points to one Kiria and Edgar?
Hmm.
But Kiria was only in his teens back then.
Hmm.
He would even be 40 years old by now. Edgar's lived here for so many years. Even if he changed his appearance...
Bad news, Sheriff. Mr. Edgar was attacked.
What?
A dark shadow-like figure just ran out of his room. But before we could even react, the figure up and disappeared like some sort of ghost or something. Do you think Kiria kidnapped him?
I need you to think very carefully about this.
I mean, Mr. Edgar was so frail. I don't see how...
It would seem Master decided to tap into an ill-advised source of power.
A delusion.
But that's so dangerous with the condition.
But why?
No. If his aim was to target everyone...
If he left Sylvain alive yesterday, not out of a desire to see him suffer, but to confirm the truth about why Yelena chose to die,
then there's...
Alright. Talk about the
shadow-like
fine
figure
mess.
ran in the direction of the elevator, and my partner immediately chased after them.
We should hurry before they're forced to confront each other.
Where in the world did he go? Let's ask the merchants nearby.
Mm-hmm. Yep, where did they go?
It's all right. Please, calm down and take a deep breath.
How could...
Alright. Time to pursue him. Dun 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 dun. Mm-hmm. Let's see.
If we go any further, we'll be out of port almost.
It's all right. I can detect a faint whiff of the scent from here. I would say he passed by this location not too long ago. It's this way. Please, follow me.
Dun, dun. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with him right now, so... Dun, 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 dun. Let's see.
The scent is getting stronger. This must be the place.
Dendro's recommended in the other one, but given that this is a character quest, I'm pretty sure she will tackle. Yep.
Oh! Are you all right? Were you attacked?
No, I'm all right.
Let me take a look.
The air definitely feels heavy. It smells nice, but for some reason, this feeling,
everything looks all right.
Hmm.
It was probably just the stress of the chase, combined with the impact of the environment.
I can't rest. Mr. Edgar he's a good man.
O's, you need to calm down and listen to me. Edgar is the one we're after.
Mm-hmm.
He and Kiria are the same person.
But
Yep, shocker.
how is that possible? Mr. Edgar is 70-something.
That's precisely why he had to resort to extraordinary measures to age himself. Kiria used a delusion to bring back the Auguste flower, corroding his body in the process, just like his older sister.
No. He couldn't.
And what if the impersonation started before he ever set foot in Sumeru? I've yet to confirm it, but I suspect Kiria killed the real Edgar in Fontaine not long after his release from prison. While Edgar was incarcerated, Kiria started making preparations to replace him, including forcefully aging his body. The new Edgar then decided to relocate to Sumeru, seemingly out of an innocuous desire to let go of the past. He even left perfume making in and Sumeru fit the bill to a T, with no one around to question his identity. All he had to do was grow a beard, don a pair of glasses, make a few minor alterations to his appearance, and everyone, as the years went by, he removed his disguise little by little and continued to refine his skills. It would have been a gradual process, one that ensured no one around him would notice anything unusual.
Okay.
Fontaine said he barely recognized Edgar back at the hotel. He aged himself decades beyond his years just so he could accomplish.
I need to find Mr. Edgar. He's not that kind of person.
What you really need is to get out of here and rest.
Yep.
Wait! This environment is likely being influenced by the delusion. Any discomfort, no matter how slight, should not be treated lightly. I know how to relieve your symptoms, Mr. Ooze. I'm sure Kiria... No, Edgar
Kalle's right. The Traveler and I will take things from here. From our brief exposure to a goose, it would seem the substance has little effect on us. This leads me to believe those blessed with a vision or capable of wielding elemental power are more resistant. Actually, now that I think about it, this stronghold likely has multiple points of entry. I hate to trouble you, but we need people to survey the
Thanks.
Yep.
Hear that? We're heading out. There's work to be done. Ooze, head back to Port Ormos and start gathering
Traveler, Emma, for someone whose only purpose in life is revenge,
Don't worry. This isn't the end. We're not going to let a goose kill anyone else. It's time for the...
Alright. Go further in. That's fun.
Monsters. Perhaps they were attracted here by the increased level of elemental energy.
Get them!
Let's light it up! You can't run!
I've never seen these seeds before. They must also have been created with the power of a delusion. It seems to be avoiding us, and there's no other way forward. Perhaps we could try luring it to the edge of the cliff.
Let's see. Yep, that certainly worked out well enough. Freebie, I'll take it.
I'm here. Let's go.
What do we have here?
Whoa, look at all the Auguste. There are so many of them. Paimon can't believe us.
I fear that statement is truer than you know, Paimon. Using a delusion comes at...
Why would Kiria... He only needed a few bottles.
Perhaps hatred wasn't the only emotion fueling his Not long ago, he told me he didn't want all the flowers transported to Sumeru to wither away in a foreign land. But Kiria betrayed Snezhnaya, abandoned Fontaine, and lived his entire life in Sumeru under the guise of someone else. For someone with nowhere to call home, perhaps dying among a bed of Auguste flowers just like his sister is the best homecoming he could ask for.
Well. has a bit of a mess, to say the least. Anyway, I'm glad we can use these nodes for convenient travel. And like a tiny bit of combat sprinkled in between, like there. Although these guys ain't the most difficult to beat.
A little ambiance.
Yep, a little ambience. Alright, and now we have a similar mechanic where we probably need to lure it to a certain spot.
A plant that destroys seeds. Huh. Quite the ecological marvel. Let's head back to the place where the seeds first appeared.
Okay, so we need to make sure that it doesn't go in there, basically. Doesn't look like I can just shoot at it. So probably just need to guide it somehow carefully. That seemed to have done the trick. Alright, another freebie. We always love the freebies. Also, it's getting me dendro sigils, because this is in Sumeru. So we might want to go ahead and check the tree after this. Possibly. How many did you make? Jeez.
Did they catch up that fast? No. My strength is just waning. But it doesn't matter. This is far enough.
This is a garden of Auguste flowers.
Hmm.
But it's not mine.
Huh.
It's the one that was set on fire all those years ago. Yelena? Yelena! You tried to hide it from me, but I always understood. The reason why you continued to use the delusion, the reason why you set your garden on fire, it was all because of me. I shouldn't have listened to you that day. I shouldn't have taken the Mora and ran. But by the time I realized something wasn't right, there was nothing left. The flowers were gone. And so were you. I know I'm almost 20 years too late. I should have come looking for you earlier. I should have died with you that day. Yelena? Yelena! No! Don't leave me! Please! Yelena!
Dun dun.
Emily? I'm alive. No, that's not possible.
That was an illusion, likely brought about by the residual toxin in your body coupled with the pollen in the air, neither of which are fatal.
No, the amount of Auguste I drank, it should have been enough. A fake, but how?
We started making the preparations last night with one goal in mind. To create a perfect accord. The accord is the basis of perfume making,
the product in its most primitive form. Ambergris mixed with cedar wood, rounded out with a base note of agar wood.
This is the scent of leather?
Exactly. We're unable to extract essential oils from leather, but by combining other raw materials, we can recreate its essence.
That's fair enough.
Does that mean you can recreate any scent in the whole world?
I'm afraid not. Certain fragrances in this world are simply one of a kind. That quality is what draws people in and fuels their obsessions.
If I wear a goose to the ball, I'll also be one of a kind. Our competitor already got their hands on it. Perfume all the way.
It doesn't matter how much it costs. I have to buy something better.
This fragrance will be one of a kind, no more. Myths can be deconstructed. Miracles can be recreated. All it takes is skill, experience, limitless exploration, and a little patience.
Alright.
The only thing left is determining where the real Auguste is hidden. Pretending to be attacked means he's not free to move around. Auguste must be hidden within reach.
Paimon took a peek through the window earlier and his house was packed with flowers.
The curator commissioned a flower pot from Kasharawar, capable of retaining heat and moisture.
Perfumes are as beautiful as flowers, and equally as delicate. When stored, you must take care to control the temperature and keep them away from direct sunlight. Did you get all that, Emily?
I got it.
Did you hear? Someone was attacked again last night.
So, Sylvain is dead. Is that right?
Yes, Master.
So, you switched the bottles of Auguste, and then lied to me about Sylvain's death.
Convincing you that your revenge had been completed was the easiest way to get you to let down your guard.
Impossible. Even if you found a way to switch out the bottle, if Auguste was so easy.
It was a combination of rainbow roses, glaze lilies, and Cecilias. Those ingredients would have conflicted with each other if you tried to combine them in the past. But recently, we found a way for them to work together.
Rainbow roses?
Auguste was created over 10 years ago. All this time, people never stopped analyzing it. Perfumery techniques are advancing day by day. We found better ways to extract essential. The mythos surrounding Auguste may have been untouchable almost 20 years ago, but now it's time for it to become a thing of the past.
The past?
You've been working as a perfumer for all these years. You should have always known that it is possible to make an accord, even if only in theory. But the meaning you assigned to Auguste became so inflated, you allowed yourself to get lost in it, just like the perfume mania that captivated the public all those years ago.
Fair enough.
In its divinity and grandeur, you believed it was entirely one of a kind.
Then, except it wasn't. Well, it was one of a kind in one way and not one.
Your obsession with Auguste is also what allowed us to predict how you intended your plan to end and to make preparations in advance.
We just didn't expect it to happen so fast.
Well, you hit so. Sylvain isn't dead. Since you've been preparing your accord since last night, that means the news of Sylvain's death
The crowd gathered out.
Yes. If we hadn't, you might have resorted to the delusion out of desperation, or continued to use your spirit borneal and a goose combination to wreak havoc.
Who knows? Maybe I would have just offed myself then and there.
I know if you had things your way, you would carry the truth of Edgar's demise and the secrets of this garden to the grave, but I'm sorry, ma'am. Sylvain only inhaled a small amount of poison. All the crimes he concealed back then will be exposed in a court of law for.
Is that so?
Yep.
Whoa, he accepted that kind of fast.
Oh.
I don't feel the need to justify. I did what I set out to do. I may have lost in the end.
Careful, everyone.
Stick close and hurry up.
Looks like I'm almost.
Of course, Master.
The combination you used.
The scent of a goose is complex and bitter, yet the main ingredient consists of a single variety of flower. So, as I was analyzing the sample yesterday, I got to thinking, what if the scent of the Auguste flower was already imbued with that complexity during its cultivation?
You're saying Yelena designed Auguste to have.
Rainbow roses, glazed lilies, Cecilias. The perfumers of the past knew that if you combine their essential oils directly, they would just cancel each other out. It was a conundrum they could never solve. But if you cultivate a new flower species that intrinsically carries the unique features of those three scents, you can bypass the
Rainbow roses, glaze lilies, Yelena.
Challenge complete. Leave the second garden. Yep. Alright. And now we're in Fontaine. Are we gonna have a talk with Valette or anybody else?
Did you know? Miss Emily's releasing a new perfume.
Right. I heard about that. I think it's called Yelena.
Seems like everyone in Fontaine is talking about the new perfume you're releasing.
Yep.
I was
Seems
hoping
to
to
be.
release it without such a fuss, but the news spread way faster than I expected. I just hope it won't become the source of some new myth, especially after all the work we did to demystify Auguste. I did, although I made a few modifications to the formula to make the scent more pleasant and long-lasting. Also, I was hoping you could try out the fragrance before I...
Of course! A good sense of taste and sense of smell.
Alright.
Oh, it smells great.
It's alright. All feedback is worth considering. Besides, when it comes to perfume, commenting on whether it smells good is the most straightforward assessment you can ask for. There doesn't always have to be a deeper meaning.
Right. Do those flowers have some special
If I had to guess...
A language of flowers?
Hmm.
Oh, we've heard of that before. Paimon remembers hearing something like,
What each flower is said to represent varies by... After returning to Fontaine, I did some research. And it turns out the meanings of those three flowers can be reassembled to form a single phrase.
Okay.
Forget the past, and perhaps that's the legacy Yelena always intended. Not the nobility and grandeur most people associate with Auguste.
You think Kyria knew about that?
I paid him a visit before his trial and explained what I found, but he didn't seem to care. Who knows? Maybe she didn't mean anything by it at all. That was his response. Yelena is gone. We'll never know what she was thinking. We can look for meaning all we want, but it'll never be anything but even if that is what she was trying to say. Avenging her death? That was the meaning. Kyria cultivated his revenge like a flower. He was committed to making it bloom, even if in the end, it didn't bear the fruit he was hoping for. In any case, he did want me to pass along thank you for saving my life. For love and hatred are when someone dies, their thoughts, feelings, and intentions die with them. In that sense, what a goose truly represents in the language of flowers will forever remain a mystery. But
Okay.
even if it's only a conjecture, I would like to believe my own interpretation, the meaning we give to flowers, and yet at the very outset, they're born from the simplest and most beautiful desires.
So, unless I'm mistaken something, that means quest done. Oh, that was quick, and I'm still having fun. So let's see. This one's taken care of. I already did my test runs. This one completed. And we might as well. I guess we'll just go for this one. But let's do some of these because we do get double, so we might as well. And yeah, we don't have any electro characters, but my party should be good enough to handle it. At the very least, once we get my damage dealer powered up. Cheap tricks, you sure about that? Because the cheap tricks do seem to be working. Well, so it's definitely still a bit longer than I would have expected it to take, but like we're pretty fine in terms of everything, all things considering. Sure, continue the challenge. And yeah, I'll just do 3, and that will be plenty. Although this time I'll wait until everything starts, which luckily for me doesn't take that long. And then... Is it super quick? No, but on the other hand... Those two are the most problematic ones of the bunch. The rest doesn't pose a tangible threat. Yep, dun dun. Dun dun. Yep, punishment time indeed. Let's heal it for a tiny bit. And then we can go ahead and take him out. Also, I will only be doing this one more time because I'm just doing this for the otherwise probably wouldn't, but I don't know. I even need this that much. But oh well. Might as well do it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
Sure. Deep tricks.
Punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Get them.
And then. Mm-hmm. Yep. Alright, that takes care of that. I'm gonna say let's just leave the domain for now. So that takes care of the ongoing event. Let's go ahead and at the very least take care of the lost challenges. We might as well do that, even though I doubt we will get gold, but aka the best rank. But on the other hand, that's like not a huge loss. Yep. Villette, Iona, I'm putting these two same team. And this one here because I'm in good combo here. Should be fine. Alright. Let's go ahead and get started.
You can't run.
As one with wind and cloud.
Be sanctified.
Yep. Luckily for me, he's good at both crowd control and dealing out a lot of damage. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, let the mighty be humble indeed. He's really ridiculously good in the damage department. Mm-hmm.
Justice is blindsided.
Mm-hmm.
Be sanctified.
Yep, indeed. Although my score currently is not what you would call good. Although it does help that this is an element he's much better against than ice.
Let the mighty be humble. Silence.
Mm-hmm. Still got 1,000 points though. Alright. These dubs. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yep.
Shadow Raven, let night fall. Let's light it up. By royal decree. Out of the frying pan, into the fire.
Alright, time for Valor is over.
Everybody stand back.
Dun dun.
Swing blade. Yeah. Odds reveal thyself.
Dun.
Wings of darkness. Sever night from day.
Good. We're not gonna have a good score. That's a thing that's gonna be certain. Probably bronze. Yeah, okay, but that's fine. Hi. Let's be 6. How are you doing? I'm doing quite well here. Playing some Genshin, basically. So, he's... hold on. Can't have... same team. Kind of want to spread that out. Be quite good. Try out this. This should be pretty good.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Can't handle your dream. Covenant of the deep.
Yep. Yep, be sanctified indeed.
Not oversight on my part.
He's good. Feel like I've said that before, but like...
Bow your head.
Yep.
Diana special. I'm a rock.
Be sanctified.
Yep. That's not a bad amount of damage.
The tides beckon.
Yep, indeed. The tides beckon.
Midnight Phantasmagoria. Look at you.
Yep. No more valor, but even still, the amount of damage this guy can put out is impressive. Like, those are some beefy numbers. So that's good.
Teamwork is dreamwork. You're toast.
And these ones are really tiny.
Clouds high. The birds call.
Yep. Done.
As one with wind and cloud.
Everybody stand back! Shiver!
Dun dun. Time for Valor is over. For now. However, just by getting rid of a few enemies, we can make sure to recharge that really quickly. Dun 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 dun.
Time to go. Clouds high. The birds call.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Yep, Call of the Birds. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
Punishment! Everybody stand back!
Feeling lucky today?
Fallen leaves.
Silver, good enough. Probably want to go with something like this again, and then yeah, guess what? That seems reasonable enough to me.
Bow your head. The tides beckon.
These are new types of enemies. At least for me, apparently. Well.
Let the mighty be humble.
Yep, Nuvalet is still good enough to absolutely smash them. Oh, these guys. These guys are annoying.
Lights out.
Luckily for me,
Be sanctified.
Diana's healing is very convenient, I think, in this sort of situation.
Wind strider. Clouds high. The birds call.
Yep.
That hurts.
Let the mighty be humble.
Yep, I'm gonna get Valor again. He's really effective against these guys.
Settle down.
Yep. We gotta settle down, please. Well, it's over for now, but I'm convinced I can get it again.
Bow your head.
Yep.
The tides beckon.
Alright, one guy got away. And that's it.
Your coming was foretold. Bloom as the flowers in Gurabad.
You're toast!
Care for a dance?
Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
These guys.
Dance with me.
Yep. No thanks.
The show's only just begun. Nice and spicy.
I'm afraid they didn't perform that well.
Finally, some target practice.
Target practice, eh? Hmm.
Your journey ends here.
And what do you think you're doing, sir?
Allow me. Teamwork is dreamwork.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of Sand, your sacrifice is ready.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Hmm. Yeah, nope.
Greasy after frying pan into the fire. Let's light it up. Eat this.
Mm-hmm. Seems like things got a little bit too hot for it.
Everybody stand back.
Let me try it.
Covenant of the deep. Let's light it up.
Hmm.
Adventure before me.
Dun,
Roast and rebuild.
dun, dun, dun.
Shadow Raven, let night
Hmm.
fall.
Your coming was foretold.
Right, it is. That's not bad at all. 5,000 points or higher. Yeah, that would require me to have a stronger team, I suspect. Don't have that. So I think that pretty much wraps up my event. We can easily get one. And we might as well. We still have a few days anyway. We have about a week until we have like a whole new explore. In the meanwhile, we're out of content for.
This realm is
But we can do some. Because I'm pretty sure we have a very predictable case of. Let's go ahead and get some minor equipment away. I don't want to switch in because I don't feel like having a point at the moment. Shot. That's possible. Anyway, let's first go ahead and teleport the monster at the very least, and then we will see what we do. How about we just go ahead and pick up some. Still gotta do. No, that sounds like a good thing to me, at the very least. Then. So, let's see. These. Oh, we actually still have some time remaining. Is any more in here? Because if so, then we actually have something. Well, seems like we still have some optionals, actually. Which we might as well do, considering that it's still 3 Parma gems. So, let's see how far we can get. Talk to the example. Sure. Let's see for the other event stuff that's still. So, I already got the outfit, and we got the free character. It's pretty nice stuff. This one is complete. Yeah, high score and scores here, but like I cannot do much about this. Although, suppose we could go ahead and barely max out our stuff. Why don't we go ahead and do that? Just max them out. No reason not to, really. Resources, always resources. We have like a decent amount. But I will need to see if I actually want any of the opening characters. Steve Raiden will be getting a rerun. Which is a character I don't have, which is a pretty strong one at that. So, unless something else comes out that catches my fancy. Although, I could also go for Emily, but I don't know how much chance I stand. And like two of these characters are fine character, so let's see. When was the last time we actually got a scene with like 10 pages back? Which means we aren't at pity at all, basically. Let's see, would I mind getting her? No, I wouldn't. Sure. I just need to get them over there. Alright, that's... done. Well... Yeah, they're all made out of paper in here, so... And we have a frog that cannot get in the water. Stay out of the water. I wonder if anybody. Sure. And he reload and fell into the water. Champion. Seems we have guests. Alright. And yeah. Just accept the win, dude. Well, sure. Alright. I don't know. I think this is the most interesting quest ever. I'll just finish this up. Let's see. We might as well do this one because this one way back. So might as well see. Then Turn Evernight. Oh right, this mechanic. Why does it need to change it? Okay. Some spirit in these, but this allows me to change, right? Hey. Oh, lovely. We have company to greet me. Yep. Change it every night. There we go. And now we can go ahead and actually make our way down there. Or rather, over to there. Yep. Okay, so it's just a fighting trial that has a time limit. I mean, sounds fair to me. And it seems like it will be pretty doable as well. Dun dun dun. Dun. Dun dun dun. Alright.
That felt
Wait, that was it?
pretty good.
Oh, that was quick. I didn't expect it to be long, but you know, I did expect it to be more complicated than that. Okay. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go? Let's see. I do want to briefly check out the tree, I guess. Why not? And then we'll just take another. I can just teleport. Okay. Yep. And across these little note thingies. Then. Done. Sure. Why not? Might as well get a tiny little. Neat. tiny amount of adventure XP, never anyone. So it's not particularly useful in this case. Alright, what does it say? Look for and rescue the unit Perry that resides with. Cool. I'm guessing this area, if I remember correctly. The general area that we were going for. I need to look for the tree. That's... So... Is it like in this area? I remember the trees being in like a specific area, but I don't remember which. You know what, let's just actually... Alright, let's actually read the Belfire. Look for asphalty. The Pyro were unable to return to the front and bring them back home. Okay, so it would definitely not be in the Oasis. Might be in here. Possibly the hole over there. Oh, right, that's the symbol. Well, at the very least, there's a very easy treasure just to get to here, so...
That felt pretty good.
Alright. Gather the plums of light. That sounds easy enough. Yoink, yoink. Just in. Yep, there we go. Is this one of the trees that we are looking for, perhaps? Alright, so at the very least we're in the right area and we know what we're looking for. Sure. Let's see, where are we going? Yep. Don't fly too fast. So, where are we going? Also, that's another tree over there. So now that we know what we look like and in what area, this won't be that bad. I'm trying to stay as close to him as possible, game. Like, come on. This is close enough, right? So, what are we meant to see? Yep. Hmm. Sure, that works out.
There are a few interesting trinkets here.
Yep. There are. So, let's see. There's another one over there. There's plenty of chests around here. That's for sure. So now I'm focusing on trees. Perhaps I already cleared this one out. That wouldn't be impossible. Let's see. Where do you lead me? To a bunch of enemies, apparently.
Let's light it up.
Hmm.
You can't run. Can't handle your drink. Lights out. Eat this.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's go ahead and take care of them.
Everybody stand back. Punishment. Judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Let's light it up. Sayonara special.
Dun. Dun 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 dun. Hmm.
You can't run.
Hmm. Yep. Almost done with this guy. Very good.
There are a few interesting trinkets here.
2 and that's 10. For the little amount of effort, that's pretty worthwhile. Yeah, it's not honest, obviously. Hmm. We could also do. Hmm.
You can't run.
Sure. Let's take care of this thing.
Let's light it up.
Well, everybody's under the effect of danger. Or rather, just die on that. It's gonna be. Dun 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 dun.
Everybody stand back.
Dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun.
Nice and spicy. Judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Can't handle your drink.
Mm-hmm.
That felt pretty good.
That takes care of some of those. So, where are we gonna find more of those trees? Is up. We did find one here. So maybe we are already in the right vicinity. Oh, just some hillbillies. That's easy enough to take care of.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Let's light it up. Punishment.
Alright, annoying, but not the worst type of enemy to fight, I suppose. Dun. Perfect. Yep. Excellent. So that takes care of all that. Love it indeed. Let's see. So that question is a bit pointless given the fact that it literally says look around a huge ass area. Perhaps in there. I see a little river in there. And no, there's like a lot of them. But remember exactly where it is. So yep. That's it in. Because it was a while ago. That's the best area specifically. Up on top of this hill might also semblance. At the very least, again. Yeah.
Another test.
Might as well take out these guys here.
Picked the wrong test subject.
See about this. I hope I can follow it long enough. Like the Tomb of Purifying. Don't remember exactly, but doesn't hurt to have it. First, I just. Alright. Where? Okay. It could be possible, I suppose.
And live each day to the fullest. That is what life in Mondstadt is all about, isn't it?
Random monster to go to find. We're about as far away from that as you can be. You qualify. Many of these trees are there, by the way. Is the game gonna tell me if I can parry? That's the rounds. let's go to focus on that quest so I can actually see how big the radius is. Need to search because that can be a huge help. That's all of it. Things I'm searching for. Oh, I probably need to collect them with the power read. Yep. Okay. That actually makes a lot of sense. Hmm. Yep. Excellent. So, how many would be left?
That felt
That's
pretty
what
good.
I'm wondering. Guessing there's still more. Rescuing them isn't the most difficult part. Locating them are the challenge. So, it appears they are just all over the place and I'm just randomly. Luckily for me, they are distinguishable enough at a distance. So, there'd be any in here. Perhaps in here, we learned before that we should. Being in slightly old locations. Aha! Yep, sure is. So what do we need to make you happy? Yep, good to me. Indeed. Oh, like how big the area is. Here's one. Means the other ones are probably not far behind. There they are. Hiding in plain sight. It is something that can work on location, I suppose. And we might as well go ahead and do this one as well. While we're like at it, you know? Well, while we're at it, while we're here. Going. Very neat. Yep. Another one done.
I suppose it wasn't too much
I
trouble.
don't know how many there are, but it seems there are at the very least quite a couple. We have a breakable rock here, so might as well break that. One of these. That's quite useful to know actually, because these grant me access to these types of areas.
We go.
It's well probably not super important.
Adventure time.
There is stuff here. I don't know what, but there is something over there. Well, apparently. This is one of those dynamic things. That's definitely a clue.
I'm here.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's just like I like shoot these in the order. I honestly doubt it. Yeah, we could try.
Let's go, let's go.
I'll try to figure this puzzle out another time. Currently mainly looking for those three. Let's see, might as well check here as well. The very least, briefly check on how many there are. Hellfire. I just want to know, like, how much. Let's see. So, already done a couple of them. There's still more, though. That's for sure. Should be around this area. It is probably not an area where I would think to look for, but suppose it's definitely possible. Let's take care of the Fatui here in the meanwhile.
You can't run. Let me amuse
Right. Don't think I do.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
If you're so sure. Well, it's the most awkward fight ever. But it does seem to work, so I ain't complaining.
You can't run.
Yep. Charge up. Oh, I'm hurrying up, alright. Oh, you've just... Oh, don't worry. I can be plenty of a killjoy.
You can't run. Shiver.
Dun, 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 dun. Very good.
None of this will go to waste.
Well, let's see. Map indicates Right. Bit further inwards. Yeah, I'm just gonna straight up use the maps. I do not like when this game says, "Hey, go explore," without providing some form of direction. Some mystery is fine, but guys, well. Hmm. Neat. Although that is just forgetting that thing over there. A dangerous sigil or what? Then block. Alright, so one is fairly high up. Let's see. Hmm. Hmm. Then. Yep. At least these quests are easy enough to handle. So the main part is chances. Hmm.
What a bountiful harvest!
Hmm. Yep. Quite bountiful it seems. I need to be in the area anyway. Up, move up. Uh-huh. Here we have one. Another question is, what's the easiest way to get up to the big house? And I think my answer is gonna be to get up there. Oh, wait. How about, even though she's not leveled up,
All expenses paid trap.
hmm.
Yep.
That doesn't work apparently on that steep of a cliff. Okay, good to know. I suppose. Well, she's still useful here. Just we need to go around. Hmm. That's good enough to recover some stamina, right? Stamina. Yep. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure. Then. And and we're close enough, right? Come on. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Much further do we need to fly? Seems like this is near the end of the road then. Yep. Perfect. Come off.
Did someone drop their package?
We have a bus. I doubt it's gonna be directly part of that. Gunk, gunk, gunk. Yeah, that seems quite good. But I also think the go entity. Um, sure. Let's go ahead and read over to this person. Allow for me and have a great good day. Bye bye. Great time. Hmm. Hmm.